This week on Gotham, Commissioner Gordon becomes Batman, Bruce Wayne steals Michael Keaton's turtleneck. Welcome to Primetime Crisis. I'm sorry I'm late. Hulu wasn't working for me this week, so I had to get the episode through other means. I don't even know how to talk about this. So last week I said Jim Gordon got to rejoin the police force. I was wrong. Jim Gordon did not rejoin the police force. He's a vigilante now, with a drawer full of weapons. Like, Harvey comes over and talks to Jim, and he's like, well, if you're gonna go do this, make sure you take some stuff from the boom drawer. And I'm like, okay, well, he's got a gun. He's a cop. He's probably got a gun in his home. He opens the drawer. There's nunchucks. There's, whatever those, sticky things are called. The, like the nightsticks. Like cops have, where you, like, press it and it's like, chink. He's got one of those. He's got knuckle dusters. I don't know why. Like, is that stuff he's confiscated from criminals that have, like, tried to rob him or something? Like, is it, like, the teacher's, like, confiscated drawer? I don't know. So, this is really hard to talk about. We kind of have two plot threads running that are the same, or are leading towards the same place. On one side, we have, Bruce Wayne, who is in Michael Keaton's turtleneck from Batman and Batman Returns. He meets this girl who has like a bird talon hand. Like it's like this. Where like the middle talon is like super, like it's like a blade. Which makes her a super killer. They even use the exact line from X-Men 2 where Alfred's like, put down the weapon, and she's like, I can't. So Arkham Asylum, which I understand that in this universe is an insane asylum built on a nuclear test site that was built on the Indian burial ground, so some crazy things are gonna happen there. But it's not just Hugo Strange doing... Like, he's not just warping people's brains, he's doing mad scientist projects. I don't even know, like, how he's covering the budget and the funding in this. But before this, he was doing mad scientist projects for Wayne Industries. Spoilers, that's the big reveal, is that he's the one who ordered the Waynes to be murdered. And before that, he was working for, he was the one working for, he was running this division of Wayne that was like, mad scientist projects, where he's creating, super people, really, is what it seems like. So Bruce Wayne goes and meets this girl who's kind of giving him this information. At the same time, Commissioner Gordon is beating his way through the Gotham Underground to find... I can't remember what they call her. She's either the female or the woman or the lady, something like that. It's the Master from Capaldi's Doctor Who. That's fun. She's in this for 2 minutes and gets nothing to do. I kind of hope she comes back and has more to do, because she's a good actress. Basically, she's the one who... This is some Attack of the Clones level nonsense. She is an assassin who hired Matches Malone to murder the Waynes. And Barbara's back. That was the big cliffhanger from last episode, was that Barbara's back. And much like Penguin, who's not in this episode at all, much like Penguin, she actually seems fixed. Like, there's this big line in the last episode, and I think they might say it again in this episode, where where the woman who's working with Hugo Strange is like, you know, if you keep releasing monsters back into the wild, like, people are gonna notice. This is the second person we've seen release, and it's the second person that legitimately seems fixed. He doesn't seem like this evil mad scientist guy. Like, I know that's what everything, like, in his dialogue is telling us. He doesn't seem... We've seen two people who have gone through his therapy, and they both come out and they seem to be pretty alright. So, yeah, we have two storylines that are simultaneously basically giving us the same information. It was really strange when Gordon and Bruce, like, met up. They both were like, huh, so we got completely different information from completely different people, and it's the same thing. I'm still not sure I understand. No, I do. Okay, so the man who hired the assassin to hire someone to kill the Waynes, he called himself the Philosopher. The man who was running, I think it's Pinewood Farms. It's some kind of weird code name for their secret government labs. He also called himself the Philosopher. So these two people are the same person. It's a real kiss, kiss, bang, bang moment of your case and my case are the same case. So they hijack, they hijack an armored truck that's transporting, the chick with the bird hand. Because the cops show up and arrest her. I don't know why. But all the cops show up and arrest her. We cut to the police station, and the police commissioner, there's a great line from Bullock where he goes, try to stop getting arrested. And then the police commissioner says to Bruce, go before I don't, or go before I change my mind. That's not how due process works. You can't just change your mind. Anyways, so Alfred and Bruce and Gordon all decide to hijack an armored car, and their plan is about on the level of Wile E. Coyote. They leave a bag of money on the side of the road and let the wind blow the money, like, kind of into the windshield a little bit. So they're like, hey, is that a bunch of $100 bills? And they stop to check it out. Gordon circles around to the back. He knocks on the door. And the guy in the back with a shotgun opens the door. He's like, is there anybody out there? And Gordon takes him out. It's insane. And then Mr. Freeze shows up because everyone knows everything that's going on at all times in this show. Like, Barbara seems to have just gotten out, and she knows everything about what's happened to Gordon recently. She even knew that he wasn't a cop, which means she was paying more attention than I was. And she wasn't even there. And so Hugo Strange is aware of the things that are happening in this episode right as they happen. So he sends Mr. Freeze to go get them. Their Mr. Freeze, they say is angry, and then to make sure you understand that he's angry, he's listening to really loud, angry music, which I thought was hysterical. But they give him a suit. He's kind of got a cool suit. And then Commissioner Gordon fires a shotgun at Mr. Freeze as if it was a pistol. Like, he just keeps being like, it's not how shotguns work. And he just keeps firing. Mr. Freeze's head is totally, like, right here, and he just keeps firing at his chest plate, and it just tink, tink, tink. Then, for some reason, the bird chick goes over, like, sacrifices herself, but she just kind of walks towards Mr. Freeze, and he's like, and he freezes her, and then he breaks her, and then he leaves. And then the big okay, so there so everyone's like really sad, Bruce and Alfred and Gordon. They're all like, "Oh man, she's dead," and like now we'll never know who the philosopher is. She's the only person who's seen the philosopher. Then Lucius Fox shows up and he's like, "Hey, I found this picture of like your dad and his friends, and look, this guy, his nickname was the philosopher." And it's Hugo Strange. And Bruce's reaction is amazing. Bruce goes, "It was one of his friends? That's not fair. That's not right." Man murdered his parents. And his concern is he was one of his dad's friends. More than that, he already knew it was someone that worked with his parents. Like, he wouldn't have any reason to think that his dad didn't get along with the person they put in charge of his secret monster-making laboratory. Which is also a thing that the girl brings up where she's like, I didn't want to tell you this, but, your dad opened the secret monster-making laboratory. He didn't have anything to do with anything that went wrong. That was the guy who was running it. But your dad did open it, and therefore he's kind of responsible, and therefore you're kind of responsible, but I don't want you to feel responsible. And I was like, what? Like, we knew that this was a Wayne thing. Like, that Wayne opened this secret monster-making laboratory. Presumably, Thomas knew about it. Like, I thought the whole point was that the person running it had gone out of control with it. Whatever. And then, Gallivant, I think it's Gallivant, gets brought back from the dead. Again, Hugo Strange can actually fix the criminally insane, and now he can reverse death, but he's the crazy bad guy. And Gallivant comes up, and he starts screaming about crazy religious stuff. And then he goes, Azrael! Because Azrael isn't, in this universe, Azrael is not a holy knight who's driven to psychotic degrees to kill sinners, as raised in this order of assassins kind of division of the Catholic Church. It's just a crazy dude who's part of a church order whose entire purpose is to get back at the Waynes. Yeah. This show's wonderful. I didn't see any of this coming. If you'd asked me last week what I thought was going to happen this week, wasn't this. I wouldn't have expected Gordon to become Batman. I wouldn't have expected Gordon and Alfred, two grown adult men, to bring a 14-year-old child onto a an armored car heist. Wouldn't have called that. Wouldn't have called Barbara actually being fixed. I'm gonna call next episode. Etrigan shows up. As Azrael's doing stuff, and Etrigan shows up, and they fight. Calling that. I'm gonna call somehow at the end of the next episode, Black Mask is gonna show up, and he's gonna take over all the crime, and that's gonna happen. I'm just gonna make predictions. This is gonna be my new thing. I'm just gonna make predictions. And I don't know. I'm gonna say the like cliffhanger end of season thing is that Bane shows up in Gotham. There we go. That's gonna happen next episode. Those are my guesses. So this show's insane. I can't say I don't enjoy watching it, but talking about it and trying to explain it, it's really difficult. I'll see you guys next week for the last episode of the season. You know, I have one more thing to say. This show is so crazy, and like so much stuff is like happening. I kept checking the time, being like, oh man, this episode's got to be over. Like it has to be really close to being over. Like I'm probably building to the final moment. Over the course of like, I don't know, 10 minutes, I did that like 4 times. Like I was like, well, so much has happened since I last looked at the at the clock. Oh, it's been like 3 minutes. So, yeah. I don't even know what to say. I guess I'll see you guys next week.